everyone, it's Zahava. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be looking at a birthday book haul. So I had a birthday a couple of weeks before you guys are going to see this video. My birthday is at the end of June. And of course, being part of this community, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and I'm going to do what we all do, which is show all the books that we got for our birthdays. And yeah, I just want to show you what I picked up. Now, full disclosure, I do have 2 unopened boxes of books that have come to me in the last few weeks from Book Outlet. I'm waiting for another box of books because they sent me a 15% off coupon. So of course, you know, your girl had to take advantage of that. So I placed my order this morning and I'm gonna wait and we'll just do like a big unboxing of all of that. There's going to be, I think, like 3 boxes. So we'll do all of that together in a separate video. But in the meantime, I want to show you guys the books that I got for my birthday. So there were a couple that I bought for myself. And then there were a couple that I got from my husband because I think he gave me a gift card. I got a gift card to, I don't know, I think it was Indigo or something. I can't remember exactly, but I went to Indigo and I went to Librairie Clio, which you guys have heard me talk about before on the channel. And also, I wanted to show you, my husband bought me these earrings. I don't know if you can see them. They say read more books. So we had gone to Cornwall to support a maker's market out there. And I picked up a copy of The Starless Crown at the Book Garden Shop, which is a mobile bookshop that sort of goes around the area of South Glengarry and the lower parts of the of Ontario around the Cornwall, Long Sault, you know, Alexandria region. So if you guys want to check her out, she's great. You guys have seen me film from the Book Garden Shop before. So I had actually gone to that maker's market to spend a day out, change of scenery type of thing. And there was a vendor, I'll show you, it's a Grunge and Glitter. I don't know if it's going to come into focus, but I saw these earrings there and they were like 15 bucks. And I was like, you know what? I told my husband, because he likes when I'm direct, he never knows what to buy me. Are your husbands like that, or your spouses, significant others? If your partners are like that, let me know. But he always prefers if I just tell him directly exactly what it is that I want. So I found these at that market and I brought them home. So yeah, basically, let's just get into the book haul. We'll let the airplane go first. That could happen a lot, as you know, because filming is like that. Okay, so the first things that I want to show you are books that I picked up in the 2 for $10 liquidation rack at Librairie Clio, which is the independent bookstore that is spoken to you guys about. It's not really far from my house, and from time to time I find books there. These are ones that you haven't seen yet, and I bought them, you know, for myself, for my birthday. Self-care, right? Self-care. So the first one that I picked up is Practical Demon Keeping by Christopher Moore. So if you guys will remember, I had bought another Christopher Moore book at a library sale out in Hudson, and it was the second in a series of 3, and I have never read Christopher Moore's writing before, but I did actually take out the first book from the library and it's sitting over there on the end table, but I haven't gotten to it yet. However, I've never read Christopher Moore's writing before, as I've said. I just really like the covers. I hear great things, like he's really funny and whimsical and stuff, so I'm hoping that this is going to work for me, but you know, for $5 I figure I'm going to take a chance. Chances are I'm probably going to really like it, so I wanted to show you that one. If you guys have read it, let me know if you think I'll like it. Next, I got The Vanishing Point by Paul Theroux. This is actually a short story collection, which you guys know I really love. I love a short story collection. You can read one before you go to bed, and you know, it takes you however long, and then you can just go to bed and you have a complete story. So I always like a short story collection. The cover price on this one was $30 US or 37 Canadian. I paid just $5 for this one. There are 18 short stories in here, and I don't know, I love the cover of it. It was a bit of a cover buy for me, but also because it's a story collection, I didn't really have to think over much about it. Next, I picked up a nonfiction book, A History of Witchcraft. Also a gorgeous cover, a little metallic. So yeah, it's going to be what it says, A History of Witchcraft. This one says, witchcraft has always been a fluid and intriguing belief system that has enchanted and sometimes terrified humanity. For over 40 years, A History of Witchcraft has provided the authoritative history of witchery and the occult. Jeffrey Russell explores the definition of witchcraft in its many diverse forms, from the worship of the Greek goddess of magic Hecate, through the medieval witch crazes, to the development of modern witchcraft in the early 20th century. Brooks Alexander analyzes the development of neo-paganism to the present day, charting the dissemination of witchcraft through modern media and the tensions that arise when a secretive cult becomes an open and recognized religion. Whether or not one believes in the powers of witchcraft, one must believe in the existence of witches. So I did not know that this was actually a republication. So that's really interesting. Have you guys heard of this book? Let me know in the comments if you've heard about it or read it. I'm always happy when I can find a good nonfiction that I think I'd be interested in reading. So yeah, History of Witchcraft. Now, you will notice if you're even remotely good at math that I'm only showing you 3 of the 2 for 10 books, and that is because for Father's Day, which was June 19th or 17th, I don't know exactly what date it was, but for Father's Day, I actually bought Cher's autobiography for my dad, so that would have made up the 4th book in that set. So it's not that I didn't get a 4th book, I just bought one and gave it to my dad. Next up, I went to Indigo because it's just down the road from the independent bookstore, and I picked up 2 books there, only one of which I have seen circulating around BookTube, and I think that the only person I saw that could have potentially read that book was Angela from the Literature Science Lions. I think I saw this one on her channel. It's either Angela or maybe Danny from Danny Dabbles. Okay, I'm just talking now because I really don't remember, but I have picked up a copy of the Spare Man, and this is going to be a science fiction sort of spaceship. It's like about a married couple that they're on their honeymoon and then a murder happens and her husband is suspected of committing the murder and she has to kind of solve the crime and make sure that her husband isn't held accountable or isn't charged, basically. So it's going to be like a mystery thriller, but set in space type of thing. So I don't know. For me, I'm not going to lie. It was a bit of a cover buy as well, but also because it's a science fiction. And I don't know, I'm really trying hard in the science fiction genre to find books that are going to work for me. I think genre blends provide the best opportunity to sort of hit that high note. I don't like hard sci-fi, as you know. If you've been here since the beginning of the BookTube journey with me, you will know that I read The Martian, and I was not wowed by the hard sci-fi elements that were in that book. So I think a genre blend is probably better for me. I really did enjoy The Deep Sky. That one was taking place in outer space, but really was not heavy on the science fiction elements of it. It was really just like a murder mystery taking place in space. I'm hoping that this will be the same thing, but it's kind of giving like it might be a little funny as well. So again, I don't know anything about it, but I'm hoping that that's what it's going to be. And I also picked up a copy of The Echo Wife, which I believe is about a woman who is cloned. I'll read you what it says. Martine is a genetically cloned replica made from Evelyn Caldwell's award-winning research. She's patient and gentle and obedient. She's everything Evelyn swore she'd never be. And she's having an affair with Evelyn's husband. Now the cheating bastard is dead and both Caldwell wives have a mess to clean up. Good thing Evelyn is used to getting her hands dirty. So this is also going to be a sort of murder mystery whodunit type of thing, but you have this woman who is cloned, and I guess we're going to have to figure out if it's the original or the clone who committed the murder. So again, I feel like this might be a very genre blending, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit murder mystery. I'm hoping it's going to hit the spot. So as a member of Indigo's book club, like you have to pay a $40 fee to be a member for their Plum membership or whatever their card is that you get. I mean, I'm not sponsored, but if you pay $40 a year, you get access to free delivery without a minimum order if you buy things online, or 10% on everything across the board, whether it's on sale or not. So if something is 30% off, you would get like an extra 10% on that if you buy something from them. So I think that my membership to that has been somewhat worth it. I'll probably renew it again in October because I felt like it was worth it. Most of the books that I picked up in the past year from Indigo, well, let's say since October when I started the membership with them. I think Barnes & Noble probably has something very, very similar. I was picking up mostly books on the bargain shelf, and I was always getting a 10% discount on those. So I feel like the membership has been worth it for me. But this time, because it was my birthday, they sent me a one-time use 20% off coupon, and the 20% off coupon would have been good on any item of any price, with the exception of, I think, if you buy gift cards or like you couldn't buy an e-reader. Trust me, I tried, but it didn't work. So I was able to get books, but because it was a bigger discount than I was used to, and because I like sometimes books that I can't really get, let's say, at Book Outlet for a cheaper price, because they're just not really that popular, or, you know, it's some obscure title like a science fiction title or something like that that is not part of like the mainstream. If I wanted to find Mistborn, for example, I could probably find a copy of Mistborn that somebody will have either given to a thrift store or book outlet might eventually have on liquidation, or the library would have, or something of that nature. But sometimes if you're a sci-fi or a fantasy reader especially, you will understand that there are gems out there that other people are just not reading. They're just not reading, or if they're reading them and they know about them, they're not talking about them, or they're hoarding them on their bookshelves. So I decided to go for a couple of books that I hadn't heard of that sounded interesting to me, and I'm going to show you guys what they are now. So the first one is called The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. So this is going to be a high fantasy, epic fantasy. I don't know if you guys, if anyone's watching has ever heard of this one, but high fantasy is usually my zone. It's usually where I kind of like excel at immersing myself into the story. This is book 1 of 2. I don't know if it's meant to be a trilogy or not, because again, like, I don't know this author and I've never heard of this title before. I just sort of picked it off the shelf because maybe it was the facing or just, you know, something about the way it was placed in my line of vision that made me pick it up. But it actually has a 4.2 rating on Goodreads, and it has not been rated by that many people. There have been about 6,100 ratings at the time that I'm filming this video, and 904 reviews of this book. So it's not a book that's super duper popular. However, the ratings are really promising on this one. So if you guys have read it, let me know what your thoughts were. Should I bump it up in priority or not? Yeah, because I always think that I always hope that if I'm going to pick up a lesser known title, it's going to be a diamond in the rough. So I'm hoping so for this one. This is one that I bought for myself using that 20% off coupon. And the second one that I bought for myself, much in the same vein, is The Enchanted Lies of Celeste Artois. This is also a book that I have never heard anybody talk about in the bookish community, and I will give you the stats on this. So this is a standalone novel by Ryan Grodin? I don't know. I don't know if this is an English-speaking author or a French-speaking author. I really don't know. I bought this one also as a cover buy because it was giving Victorian. It had a black cat on the cover. It was purple. If you guys look at the other one, like this here is showing a black cover. But yeah, it's got a 3.71 on Goodreads and 324 ratings with 135 written reviews. So again, it is no surprise that I have never heard anybody talking about this book. It was published in August of 2024 and has a little bit over 540 pages. So I will read you the back in case you guys want to know what it's about. In this lush and lyrical fantasy, Ryan Grodin transports readers to the hidden magical pockets of early 1900s Paris, where a con artist will make a deal with the devil and change the fate of the world. For Celeste Artois, a talented art forger, and the Enchantresses, her two fellow thieves and best friends, Paris is a rich hunting ground for marks. There's always more to take, but judging by the blood she's begun to cough into her handkerchief, Celeste is living on borrowed time. Everything changes when she encounters Rafe, a mysterious and beautiful stranger who shows her a magical Paris hidden in the shadows and alleys of the ordinary world, where artists' most wonderful imaginings come to life. Rafe offers Celeste an irresistible deal, the gift of time in exchange for lending him and his benefactor her forging talents. But there's more to the hidden world than meets the eye, and one must be careful making deals with devils. Shadows have begun to circle in Paris, and soon the Enchantresses will find that true magic is far more powerful and deadly than they ever imagined. So I'm really hoping that this book will live up to the promise I feel I was given on the back blurb. And again, I got this book 20% off. Its US cover price was $19.99 US. The Canadian cover price was $25.99. And I think altogether, with the discounts, I spent something like $40, which I think is very respectable for brand new books that are, again, very rare. Have you guys heard tell of any of these? Let me know in the comments. Now, lastly, before we close out the video, I want to show you a gift that I received from Fina of Fina Reads from my Amazon wishlist. So thank you so much, Fina, for sending what you did, because you're sneaky. You know exactly when my birthday is. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I actually got 2 items from Fina, which was really, really fun. So the first thing that you guys are obviously here to see is the book. So I'm going to show you what it is. It is The Gods of the Weirdwood. And I am so happy, Fina, if you're watching this, that you picked this book, because many moons ago, I tried to listen to this book on audio and I just couldn't get into it. I found the opening scenes kind of confusing. I couldn't really follow them. So I decided maybe this is a book that I would be better off reading with my own 2 eyes. And I put it on my Amazon wish list and then just like completely forgot about it. But you picked a really good one. I love it that I have that little anecdote. It's a big book. It's a big one. It is, over 600 pages. So it might take me some time to get through it, but I'm really happy. It's the first in a series, and I just remember really liking it and being kind of mad that I didn't have the attention span to continue listening to the audio version of it, because if you guys know it all, I will listen to audio when I'm working. So I'm only like half listening at that point. And I think that if I'm going to get into an epic fantasy, I definitely want to be investing the time. And also there's a little bit of IKEA effect, right? If I put in the effort with my eyes, I'm probably going to pay more attention and thus appreciate the book a lot more. So thank you so much for choosing this one. I don't even know if you've read it. If you've read it, let me know. Let me know, Fina, if you've read this one or if you just randomly chose something. But I want to thank you so much for that. It was super kind. And secondly, Fina sent in the package some highlighters for annotating, which was really fun. I love that. These are the pastel set, but there's like really cool ones there. There's like brown and black and some darker purples and stuff, which is really fun because I think that the one set of highlighters that I do have are I think they're all like pastel colors and stuff. So this is going to give me some colors to play with that I don't already have. So that is going to bring us to the end of today's video. You guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me while I showed you everything that I got for my my birthday book haul. I want to remind you, as always, if you like this kind of content, to please like the video and leave a comment down below about any of the books that you have either read or been introduced to, or if you think I made good decisions or bad decisions in what I chose for myself. I really appreciate you guys all being here, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Ciao for now.